Hey, good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou, and I'm live for you on LouTube today. Thanks for watching. We're going to start the show here in just a few minutes. Of course, Patriots win the Super Bowl. Sony Michel scored the only touchdown in the entire game, too. Yeah, amazing, I know. But not a surprise to Uncle Lou, though. So we'll talk about the Super Bowl today. I'm sure you guys have plenty to say about that. What about the commercials, though, too? The commercials, it was a boring Super Bowl. Let's just be real. Were the commercials any good? I don't know. Y'all can let me know when we start the show here in just a second. And, well, I got something good coming for y'all. I got two good things coming for y'all this week, too. One of them, should I tell? Well, I'll tell you what. I'll definitely tell you what one of them is. And maybe I'll give a hint or something on the second one. But you aren't going to want to miss either one, I promise you. But anyway, we'll start the show in just a second. Where's all my new Miami Hurricane fans at today? Uncle Lou did it again, did he? Making all kinds of friends. But we have a bunch of twins for woo.
Forget 100% committed. I'm 1,000% committed. I do not care. I'm riding high on this sorry, sometimes sorry, college football team.
Good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou, live for you on LouTube today. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Also, in addition to that as well, we got a good show today. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. I'll take some phone calls in a little bit, but Uncle Lou got some things to say first here to start the show. First off, congratulations to the Patriots. Congratulations to Sony Michel, David Andrews, Isaiah Wynn. Some Bulldogs getting a Super Bowl ring yesterday, so hats off to the Patriots. I watched the game. I mean, try to sugarcoat it was boring as hell. Just a really boring game, but shout out to Sony Michel, scored the game's only touchdown. Ended up with over 100 yards, I think. Although, let's be real, most of those yards came on the last drive, or the next to the last drive that Patriots had, just to sort of ice the game. There was not much offense in this game at all. Patriots drove the ball better than the Rams. They had that one turnover early on. They had a missed field goal. The Rams really were able to do nothing at all for the majority of the game, right? At some point in the second half, I think they were 0 for everything on third downs. It just was a boring game. It did get a little bit exciting towards the end, only because it was close when the Rams had that drive late, but it ended in an interception, and that was pretty much it at that point. But I did watch it, so when you guys call in today, if you want to talk about that, any observations from the game, that's fine. What was the best commercial, though? I was disappointed I didn't get it's not. I wanted a Game of Thrones trailer. I really could care less about a Game of Thrones Bud Light commercial. I wanted a Game of Thrones Season 8 trailer. Still don't have one. Thing comes out in April. HBO, what are you waiting on? Uncle Lou's impatient here. So, Miami Hurricanes fans, y'all gonna keep what's that song go? Y'all gonna keep messing around with me and turn me back to the old me? That video was not even that bad. That video was not that bad. And now, how many videos have been made about that video now? 4, 5, 6? I mean, I feel like there's some people who created a YouTube channel right after they watched that video just so they could make a video about that video. And then I found a few other people that I'd never heard of before that made a video about it. And when I tell you they are mad, I really don't think I've ever seen anything like it. I found one guy's video. The name of the... I should have downloaded it and played some of it for you, because chances are you'll never see it. That doesn't matter. But the name of the video was basically something like Uncle Lou is garbage or something like that. And the video was unwatchable. It was basically a guy mumbling, stuttering, and drooling for a while. I didn't even watch much of the video. I did read through the comments, though. And it's just like 100 comments of people saying, yep, just unsubscribed from Uncle Lou. Not watching Uncle Lou anymore. All this guy does is talk about Miami. How many Miami videos have I ever made? 5? I don't know. Out of 2,000? But okay, all I do is talk about Miami, though. But here's the thing about the video, though. It really wasn't even a trash talk video. Miami is ranked 32nd in recruiting. I'm not making that up. And if Miami fan, and listen, I called into that Miami show later that night, or the next day, whatever it was. The guys invited from over at Cane Shades. And listen, I like those guys. And I saw a few comments that said, oh, Lou talked all that trash in his video, then went on the show and was all humble. Listen, I've known those guys for 5 or 6 years. When I first started on YouTube, those guys used to have me on all the time. I owe a lot to those guys. So had nothing to do with me going on there and being afraid to talk trash or whatever. I said the same things to them on their show that I said in the video. I really don't understand I mean, the only thing Miami fans' response really had to say was, we got 5 titles, though. We got 5 titles, though, and Georgia hasn't won a title since 1980. Well, that's great, Miami fan, but I'm pretty sure that your national title 17 years ago didn't help you lose to Duke this year, did it? Didn't help you lose to Georgia Tech, did it? What about Virginia? A national title 17 years ago means just as much in 2019 as a national title in 1980 means, which is nothing. It means nothing. Nothing. And that was their only response. And when you can get them to be honest for half a second, they agree with everything I said in the video. Everything. It's not a good recruiting class. They're not happy with it. And it's a result of the coaching debacle that went on there of why it's so bad. Now, one excuse they do make that I have a little bit of a problem with is they're making an excuse about transfers. Well, if you add in the transfers, we really have like a top 10 or top 15 class. Well, it doesn't work that way, lady. Everyone gets transfers in, okay? Those don't count towards your recruiting class. So, like, there's plenty of teams in the top 10 or 15 that are getting transfers in. So, if you want to count your transfers to bump your recruiting class up, then you have to do the same for those other programs, which would then bump those classes up. And here's the thing about transfers, okay? Transfers can be great. Georgia's got some transfers on our team that I think can contribute at some point, whether it be this year or next year. Demetrius Robertson, J.R. Reed is a transfer. Mo Smith from a few years back, right? Transfers are designed to supplement the current roster. They're not meant to be a replacement for a recruiting class. Transfers are for right now, right? Transfers are for right now, especially these fifth-year transfers that you get that have 1 year of eligibility. I mean, they're coming into play today. That's to supplement your current roster. A recruiting class is to build for the next 2, 3, 4 years down the road. So the fact that Miami may or may not have a bunch of elite transfers and well, even if they do, even if all the transfers that Miami get are elite, that's not a replacement for a recruiting class. The other thing that they pointed out a lot, or accusation that they made about that video, the only reason Georgia's recruiting so good, they dropping bags, they paying players. Hey. Retard Miami fan that's talking about Georgia paying recruits and dropping bags. Clean your ears out and listen up. Good. Who in the hell does any Miami fan think they are accusing other teams of cheating in any way? Sir. Are you serious? Miami has been on probation for more time than any program in modern college football history. A Miami fan accusing Georgia of cheating in recruiting or buying players has got to be the dumbest and honestly one of the most ignorant things I've ever heard. How many times has Georgia been on probation for cheating, recruiting violations, buying players, or anything of that ilk? None. Miami, on the other hand, stays on probation. Miami is in a permanent state of probation. So, the only reason Georgia's recruiting good is because they're cheating and recruiting and buying players? This from the Miami fan base? Listen, The only time Miami has been good in its entire history is when they were cheating. Is this news to anybody? Without Two Live Crew and Uncle Luke, you would have had no Miami run in the late 80s and 90s. Fast forward to this century, and you have the whole Nevin Shapiro deal. Miami fans contradict themselves in the same comment. Well, we haven't won the ACC and we haven't been any good in 17 years. That's true, but that's because we've been on probation and missing scholarships the whole time. Well, hey, hello. Is this thing even on? We know. That's the point. Jesus Christ, son. Now, listen. There's a lot of Miami fans that I like and respect. A lot of them. But some of these people are complete potato. I mean, potato level is 1 million with a lot of these people. Read the comments on that I could do a comment on the comments video just with comments from that one video. And guess what? That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So, tomorrow, I will upload the third installment of Comment on the Comments, and it will be responding to potato Miami fans. So, you have that to look forward to. So, that's one of the announcements from the beginning of the show that I teased. Announcement number 2. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's coming Friday, though. Ooh, I got something on Friday. I cannot wait. I got to stop talking about it, or I'm going to let the proverbial cat out of the bag here. And I don't want to do that. And also, but do not miss Friday's video. In fact, I'm probably going to make that video a premiere. I've only done that once or twice. I'm probably going to make that video a premiere. So, what's a good time? 5 o'clock Friday evening? I think that's what I'll do. I'll make that video a premiere. We can watch it together live. 5 o'clock Eastern time on Friday. You have the live show Friday too, from 3 to 4 on Friday. So I'll remind you again on Friday. But 5 Eastern, Friday. You don't want to miss it. I promise you. Shout out to the good people over at Lanier HVAC Services. They sponsor these Uncle Lou shows. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do this show the way we do it. So, huge shout out to the good people over at Lanier HVAC Services. If you live in the Atlanta, Athens, or Gainesville, Georgia area and you need some work done on your HVAC unit, give the good people over at Lanier HVAC Services a call. They'll take real good care of you. Their phone number is 678-943-1351. And tell them Uncle Lou said good morning. Remember, if you want to sponsor the Uncle Lou show some kind of way, you can. Literally anyone can do it. Email me, crazyunclelou@gmail.com. News on the podcast, and then we'll start taking some phone calls. I did go ahead and make the post on Patreon the other day about the podcast, and I got a better response than I thought I would get, to be honest. So I'm going to be getting in touch with a few of those people on Patreon who replied to that post. And I hope to have the first episode of the podcast out within a week. Once I get the first one out, it'll be on a scheduled basis at that point. So I can't promise you a certain day right now that first episode will come out, because that's going to depend, of course, on the schedule of the person I get to do the first one with me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to start a weekly podcast. It's going to be me and one other person every single week. And I opened it up to all the members over on the Uncle Lou Patreon page to co-host the podcast with me. So I had a lot of people respond to that. Those are going to be the first people I get to co-host that podcast with me. Once we run through those, I will open it up to the comment section here on YouTube, and you guys can host a show with Uncle Lou. It'll be a podcast, so you don't have to worry about how you look, nothing like that. If you have the ability to make a phone call, then you have the ability to co-host a podcast show with me. So the first episode of that will be out soon as I nail down a day and time that the first co-host can get with me on the phone and get that recorded for you. Yeah. I'm an SEC homer, but I'm going to tell you, I might buy a Florida Gators hat week 1. These Miami fans have bit off more than they can chew. I'll make Miami fans my personal hobby this offseason if I feel like I need to, or if I want to, too. No, lady, how about you shut the up? I'm doing LouTube, bitch! All right. 706-510-6817 is the number if you want to be on the show today. Then give me a call. It's not that hard. Almost anybody can do it. Notice I said almost. 706-510-6817 is the number. Super Bowl commercials. If you're a Tennessee fan and you want to call up and talk about basketball, hey, God bless you. Phone lines are open. If you get through, knock yourself out. Recruiting day, signing day 2 days away, too. So I'm going to be doing something on Wednesday for signing day yet. Haven't nailed down a time. It won't be 3 o'clock. It'll be earlier than that because a lot of these people sign in the morning and through lunchtime and stuff. So I don't know. I'm thinking something like maybe 10 to 2, something like that. Do a stream like from 10 to 2. Try to follow all the big signings from Wednesday's signing day. But anyway, yep. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Ludo.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah, hi, though.
First-time caller, long-time listener.
Yeah, good morning.
I just wanted to ask you a question. How long do you think Nick Saban's going to keep coaching for?
At least another couple of years, I would assume. I really don't know. There was a time a year or so ago where I thought he may go out at the same time Tua goes out. But I'm not so sure about that anymore. If they win it all next year, any year that they win it all at this point, I think is a possibility that he hangs it up. But I wouldn't bet on it right now. I'd say he'd still got a couple more years.
15-0 win it all, or his next championship win it all.
I don't think he wants to go out a loser. I think he would prefer to go out a winner. So in any given year from this point forward that Alabama wins it all, whether it's 15-0 or not. Now, had they won it this year, I guess there was a chance he would have retired. I mean, 15-0 won't mean as much now because someone's already done it now. So it means more to be the first to do it. So I don't think it necessarily matters if they're 15-0 or not. But any given year, I think from here on out that Bama wins it all. I think there's a potential for Saban to hang it up, but my gut tells me he's got 2 or 3 more years regardless of what happens.
See, I kind of disagree because I think if he builds Iverson, he can win. He can go at least 20 years. He's 68?
Are you in the
70 yet?
Are you in the bottom of a well by any chance?
Sorry, hallway. Is that better?
Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Thank you.
Yeah. I said 20 years. It's only because he could Bill Snyder it. He seems like the type to Bill Snyder his way into, college football history, if you know what I mean.
Right.
What do you think?
I hope you're right. I mean, listen, I think Nick Saban is the greatest college football coach of all time, and the sooner he retires, the better off everyone else will be. So I hope you're right. I mean, I hope he quits tomorrow. But my gut tells me a couple more years. I'm not going to lie. I want to beat him. the last thing I want to happen is for him to retire and we've only beat him that one time. We beat him his first year at Alabama. I don't want him to retire without Georgia beating him again. But you know, I don't have any control over that. But still, my gut still tells me we're in for a couple more years of Saban, unless, like I said, any year that he wins it, if he wins it this year, 50% chance I think that he walks away. If not, I think he'll be back.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, thank you for the call. Appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, hard to judge on these coaches walking away, right? I mean, yes, he's old, but he doesn't appear to be in bad health to me. I mean, I obviously haven't seen his medical records or anything like that, but the guy looks like he's in pretty good shape, looks like he's in pretty good health. Mentally, he seems fine. It's not like a Steve Spurrier situation, right? I mean, let's be real. Steve Spurrier retired mentally about 3 years before he retired physically. I don't see that happening with Nick Saban, at least right now. He still seems pretty sharp to me. Although, maybe that 4th and 6 was a sign. That 4th and 6. Did he really run a draw up the middle with the holder, using the kicker as a lead blocker? So I don't know. Maybe he is losing it a little. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just know the flu shot is no good. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Man, Lou, I just went to call you, and I looked under. It wasn't there, and I was like, damn, now I got to find your number and write it down. And then I went to you, and there it was, Uncle Lou, and here we are.
Ah, great. Perfect. Glad you got through, sir.
All right, I'm ready to bash anybody. Who do you want to bash? Let's bash somebody.
Miami.
That's like hitting a girl. I don't want to do that.
Tennessee, South Carolina, Auburn, Ohio State.
They're all so far, but they're also far ahead of Miami that, you know, Miami's the pinnacle. You know, as long as you're not Miami. Tennessee's okay compared to Miami. South Carolina's okay compared to Miami.
Oh, man. That's brutal, sir.
State makes Miami look like Rutgers, you know? Oh, no, wait a minute. That's embarrassing to Rutgers. I'm sorry, Rutgers. You know what's funny about college football? They can still go 10-2. They'll just lose to Clemson and Florida, but they suck. They're so far below average, you know?
Well, I doubt they'll go 10-2 either way. They've only won 10 games one time since 2004, so I seriously doubt they do it in Manny Diaz's first year.
I'm just saying, I look at their schedule, and I'm thinking, if I'm a college football player and I'm getting recruited and I look at next year's schedule, who wants to play that schedule? They want to play Florida's schedule. They want to play LSU's schedule. I mean, even Alabama, as much as they got a suck-ass schedule, is better than Miami's, you know?
Yeah. You're not going to get any disagreement with me today on the bashing Miami, sir. I can promise you that.
I wouldn't be so upset that there's something wrong with their fans. I used to love their fans because we were always number 1 and number 2, and playing each other was great. It's like 20 years later, and they're still talking about it. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, and you know what else about their fans, too? They act like they're such a tight fan base and ride or die for their team and all this kind of stuff. They are the biggest fair-weather fan base on the face of the planet. When these guys are winning 7 and 8 games, their stadium is less than half full. Less than half. A Miami spring game, it'd be about 3 or 4,000 people. It's pitiful. Their fan base is pathetic.
I wish I knew how to do screenshots on that shit and post it. Like there's nobody there. Nobody.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. And they have all these excuses about, Miami's an international brand, so it's fans worldwide. Yeah, okay. You sound like Georgia Tech fan. You know, I mean, hey, Notre Dame's a worldwide brand too, aren't they? How many of their games sell out? All of them. So, I mean, this is just pitiful.
I used to live in Texas. I have 2 kids born there, right? I've never seen a high school football game in Texas that had less fans than Miami has at every game.
It's pitiful.
More fans at a Texas high school football game.
Yeah, it's pitiful. There was a 4 or 5 year period where the only home game Miami sold out was the Florida State game every other year because it was in Miami every other year. And that's only because Florida State fans traveled and bought up all the tickets. But, I mean, their attendance is piss poor when they're losing. They are the biggest fair-weather fan base.
It makes me so mad.
Yeah, me too. They're pitiful.
About us scheduling them. They talk about the Gators playing them. Like, why the fuck would we play that team? It can't help us. It can only hurt us. Like, nobody's running. You know,
right.
we took them off our schedule to fuck them. We were their only good marquee game. Fuck them. Go find the game. Go win something. Quit. Why does he talking about us? You know.
Well, you know y'all play week 1.
Even when we have a suck-ass coach, we win our division, and it looks good for a minute. We had to get rid of McElwain, but we still won the division twice with him.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, y'all play week 1, and listen, Florida's the better team with a more experienced coach. It's a neutral site game, but Florida should win that game. And I mean, I'm an SEC homer, but so I'd probably be pulling for Florida anyway. But after these last couple of days, I'm serious. I might go out and buy me a Gators hat and a pair of jorts, and really go all out.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and really go all out because these Miami fans are absolutely delusional.
And when you get tired of them, I'll give you my address. You can send them to me.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, you need a new pair of jorts, do you?
I don't need anything.
Oh, you're talking about the hat. I got you.
From you.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah, we'll work something out.
I got $600 at the casino yesterday, Lou.
Oh no. What'd you do? Bet on the Rams?
I don't care, man. I play for, when I go to plays, like win a couple thousand, you're losing 600. That's, you have to, if you don't bet, you can't win, I
have heard that before.
And I know how to set dice on rolling dice. This shit really works. Whatever number you want to make, Lou, you don't need to know jack shit about dice. But you have to be comfortable and breathe and be calm and keep your hands dry. But whatever number you want to make on the inside of the dice, when you click them together, when you match them up, and you're going to hold them and you're going to roll them like they're an axle on a truck, you want them to tumble forward and barely hit the wall. But if you want to roll a 7 or 11, you put a 6 and a 5 in the middle. 11, they're touching each other. You squeeze them together. They're in the middle.
No.
And it creates an axle. And it just, there's a science to this, how they will tumble. It works. I was so close to cracking that nut. I had so much money on that table. I had $300-400 on the table, and I 7'd out. I fucked up. It's my fault.
Yeah, craps is a lot of fun. For a long time, I didn't know how to play craps. I played a lot of blackjack and poker when I went to the casino. But even before I knew how to play craps, I still spent a lot of time at the craps table because it's fun just watching. People get so excited playing craps. I mean, if you're standing in a casino, the loudest area is the craps table area every single time. So I used to just stand and watch people play.
Roulette, man. I saw 2 people win a number straight up on roulette yesterday with $30 on the number. They got $35 for every dollar, and they had $30 on that number.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
That's like $1,500. They were screaming pretty loud too.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, the good thing about
you got to bet to win.
Yeah, the good thing about you can play. You can know absolutely nothing about gambling and sit down at roulette with a couple $100 and stay for hours just betting red and black. I mean, you're going to lose in the long run, but you won't lose it quick. So
what I do is they pay 35 to 1. I put my money directly on the numbers. I put like 12 chips out there. It pays 35 to 1. So every time I sometimes I hit 10, 15 times in a row. I start with $5 or something. I walk out with 1,100 on roulette. Doing that, putting 12 numbers every time. Just get lucky.
Yeah.
Every time it's 35, 35, 35, 35, and then when I started winning, I put 2 and 3 on each number, and now I'm starting to get paid. And then I put 5s out there, and it's like $500 each time. It's all their money. I don't care. I only came in with 20 or 100,
right.
And last night, my kid was with me, and he has a bunch of money, and he kept giving me another 100, another 100. And I said, why didn't you just give me the whole wad at once so I could have started betting 25s and 30s instead of 5s,
Yeah.
You follow me?
I follow you 100%. Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate the call. Don't take no crap off these Miami fans over the next 6 months and give them hell week 1. Thank you for the call, sir.
5-star caller.
Go ahead and hit him with that 5-star caller there. He had a little something to tell Miami fans too. I expect all the Miami fans now to come to the YouTube section and cry about you now, sir, and leave me alone for a while. These people have been crying nonstop. They got to be out of tears by now. I don't know. We got some super chats that I haven't had a chance to get to yet, so let's take a second and get to those right now. Josh Snellgrove, thank you, sir, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. As dumb as those Hurricanes fans sounded, it's still not half as stupid as these Gator fans are. Doofus coach in a trash program. Martin Rosario, thank you for the super chat, sir. Coming from a sane Kane fan, I wasn't mad about the Miami video. I knew what you were doing, but at the same time, it doesn't mean Manny can't recruit. I will agree with you that it doesn't mean he can't recruit. It just means that so far he can't. Slim Shady Canes, thank you for the super chat, sir. Number 32, and do you still beats the Toothless Gummers? Let's see, who's the Toothless Gummers? Who did the Canes beat last year? Florida State, I guess. Dogs fan 1196, thank you for the super chat, sir. Who's worse, Saints fans or UCF fans? I'm going to go with Saints fans. Because UCF fans have a little bit of an excuse because it's actually impossible for them to win a real national title. The Saints fans actually tried to sue the NFL to force them to replay the game, and anyone that can fog a mirror already knew that wasn't happening. I mean, just let it go. Listen, there are blown calls in every single game. I get it. It happened at the end of the game, so you're mad about it. The referees didn't throw that interception in overtime, though. Let's try to keep that in mind. And there was plenty of missed calls in that game. In the Saints' favor. There were several hands to the face penalties that weren't called. There was a roughing the passer on Jared Goff that didn't get called late in that game that would have given the Rams a 1st and goal on the 1-yard line. Yes, it sucks to have a call that blatantly wrong get called against you at that position on the field that late in a close game. I agree with you, but let it go. Slim Shady Canes, thank you for the super chat, sir. Gators can't beat Canes. That's why they won't play us. Well, they're playing you week 1, though, and 2, and also. Y'all play week 1. So this is going to be a fun 6 months between Florida and Miami here. They play in Orlando, right? Week 1, Florida versus Miami. My guess is on that, I have a feeling that will be one of, if not the, most watched non-conference game of the year. I think there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on that game. A lot of interest in that game. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, what's going on, Uncle Lou?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Martin.
Hey, yeah, Martin. What's up, buddy? Yeah, I knew you weren't weren't mad. I wasn't worried about you getting mad. I mean, you sort of get it, but you understand what I do, but I don't know. It was a little. I was a little surprised at the amount of people who were legitimately upset.
No, I mean, I kind of get it from us Miami fans. I mean, we're really passionate. Well, we really are a passionate fan base, like with the real ones. Because everybody, let's be honest. Because every team has those bandwagon fans.
Oh, no doubt.
Like,
no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I generalize a lot on here just because that's kind of what I do. But you're 100% right. Anything I can say about any fan base in America, can be applied to any other fan base in some type of way, for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it's just that you kind of got crazy and gotten to the point where you're actually contemplating wearing a Florida Gators jersey week 1.
Yeah, that was the dumbest thing I ever said.
No, that simply can't happen.
You're right.
It can't possibly get to a point where Uncle Lou has to wear a Florida Gators jersey week 1 against Miami.
You're right.
So unfortunately, I have to speak for all these other stupid fans that don't understand the way these trolls work.
Yeah, you know what it is? They just don't like hearing that from a fan of another team. Like if Coop or Alonzo or the guys over at Cane Shades were to make a video saying that the recruiting class is substandard, they would agree. But people don't like to be told bad truth about their team by a fan of another team, and I get that, but no one is happy. There isn't a team in America that would be happy with the 33rd ranked recruiting class, or 32nd.
Yeah, no, of course.
You need it to be better.
The thing is, we were pretty set up in a bad situation. I mean, the past
Agreed.
and decided to leave right after the early signing period.
Right.
And then that's when we hired Manny. So Manny didn't really have a whole bunch of other options.
Yeah.
Which was turn to the transfer portal.
Right.
So I mean, that's a good alternative, at least for the short term, as far as fixing this class. This is obviously not a long-term thing. Just go to the transfer portal.
Yeah.
I think Manny understands that. And plus, we still have time to still salvage a little bit of this class because we're still in it for 4-star defensive end Chris Bogle, who's still committed to Alabama, but he recently visited this past weekend. He took his last visit. We're still in it for that safety Kyer Elam, who's a Florida legacy, which would be hilarious if he committed to Miami.
You're not getting him.
The Gators.
You're not getting Elam.
No, I understand, but I mean, we made it in this top 4, so that's something at least.
Florida's not getting him either.
But you never know because recruiting's a funny thing sometimes.
It is funny.
You never know what these recruits could do.
Yeah, I seen a guy strip down. I seen a guy strip down to his underwear one time because a recruit didn't choose his school. Ridiculous what people will do.
Yeah, it's a funny business. It's a funny business. But look, I encourage all Miami fans to try to understand Uncle Lou and where he's coming from. You know, don't be triggered by that ass clown George. I know that was him that called. George, please, can I say the F-bomb here, Lou?
One time.
All right, George, please shut the fuck up.
You know what my favorite thing about George is? I have an app on my phone that I use only to read YouTube comments. It's just for me, it's easier to keep up with it. It takes every comment, no matter what video it's left on my channel, and it just shows them to me in order. So it's just the easiest way for me to keep track with the newest comments or whatever, and I'll look at it a few times a day. Anytime I pull up that app and I'm scrolling through and I see George's name, I already know I'm going to see his name 30 more times. He has never left one comment. Minimum of 30 every time. Keep up the good work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. I get he's trolling, but
big time.
Some of his trolling, they just ain't it, man. Like,
yeah.
You're representing a program that's trying to claim to be you, but like, who do you have in the Hall of Fame that's a defensive back, George? Florida has nobody. They're known for having the most busts in the NFL, George. Like, what are you talking about? Why? You guys just had a good season coming off 2 4-win seasons in the last 5 years, George. Like, stop it, man. Stop the delusion, please. Florida fans are crazy. Like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah. They think Dan Mullen's an elite coach. Listen to this. They had this guy, Jim McElwain, right? Jim McElwain was an SEC head coach for 3 years. He won his division 66% of the time. Jim McElwain won his division 66% of the time. 2 out of 3. Dan Mullen's been an SEC head coach for almost a decade. Guess how many division titles he has? 0.
Exactly.
Not a single one. Florida downgraded.
SEC. Exactly.
Yeah, they already know.
How do you have a coach that's been coaching the SEC for 10 years, not one division title? Yet you have Jim McElwain win two division titles in only 3 years coaching in the SEC. Like, how does that work?
Did Jim McElwain ever lose to Kentucky? I don't think so.
Never.
Never.
Like, how does that work?
Never.
And for you delusional, and for the rest of you delusional Gator fans, Manny can recruit. We just had a junior day this past weekend. We came out with 5.
Yeah, and you know, you're right. And the proof of that, I saw an article. I can't remember if it was from Saturday Down South or 24/7 Sports, but It said Miami's decommits from this class are a better class than its current commits. And while that seems like a negative, and it kind of is, that tells you that you guys had a great class, but because of the coaching situation that happened, you lost all of it, just like you said earlier. And Manny Diaz was a part of that coaching staff that brought all those players in initially before they decommitted, while Manny Diaz was gone to Temple. So Miami will not be 30-something in recruiting next year. Zero chance. They'll be probably top 15 or top 10 next year. I'd be willing to bet they have a top 10 class next year. But this class is bad.
I mean, the thing is, if we can make it to at least the top 25, top 20, like finish on that, then that I'll take that. I'll take that for this as a transition class for Manny. If he could get us into the top 25 or top 20, that would be good for me. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you like that comment I made a few days back about calling Willie Taggart Jim Blackaway, right, Lou?
Oh my God, I almost lost it. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh man. Oh, they actually released the woman beater, Francois. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Booted him, huh? Yeah.
Woman beaters, a tradition like no other at Fire State University.
It really is. It really is. But listen, yeah, you know, it's easy to point and laugh at Florida State right now, and I've been doing my fair share of that. At least they handled this the right way. I mean, because they haven't always handled these situations the right way, Jameis Winston.
Well, let's be honest. Hold on. Let's be honest. They had to offset this for the Bryles hire, and we know what happened with Bryles.
Right. Yeah, good point.
They had to find some way to balance that weight, Lou.
Yeah, good point.
But yeah, thanks for taking my call. You know, I appreciate everything you do, man.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad.
Please don't wear the Gators jersey, man. Please.
You have my word, sir. You have my word.
5-star caller.
Yeah, as soon as I said I was going to wear a Gators hat or a Gators jersey, I immediately considered slapping myself in the back of the neck. I knew I shouldn't have said that. Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou.
What's going on, Uncle Lou? It's Slim Shady. How you doing today?
What's up, Shady? I'm good.
I must say, I thought the comments off of that video Saturday were absolutely hilarious.
Oh, solid gold, sir.
Loved it.
Yes, sir. No doubt. No doubt. I'm doing a video tomorrow, comment on the comments just from that video. Normally, I'll go through like 20 videos to try to find enough funny comments to use for one of those comment on the comments video. I'm doing it strictly from that video tomorrow. There's enough comments on that video for me to make 5 comments on the comments videos.
Oh, I did. And as a Miami fan, I loved it. I really did, because apparently people aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing and watching Uncle Lou every day. And they would have heard our conversation over the past 5 or 6 shows about Miami.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people were running for safe spaces, people getting triggered left and right. I absolutely loved it. I did.
Yeah, it was a good one, and if nothing else, because I always say, well, hopefully something good comes of it. I was glad I got to get back on with the Bo over at Cane Shade. It's been a long time since I've been on his show, and for some reason, people point to me. There's a lot of people doing these call-in shows now, and for some reason, I hear a lot of people that will try to say I was the first one to do it, and that's not true. When I first started YouTube 5 years ago, Bo and Unc were doing call-in shows on YouTube, and they used to have me on all the time when nobody had any idea who I was or cared or whatever, and you know. I've never met those guys or anything, so I don't know if they would consider me a friend or whatever, but I've known them a long, long time, and they've always been real good to me. And I haven't really been in touch with them that much lately. And so I was glad Bo got in touch with me after that video and had me on his show. And and hopefully I can call back in and be on with him a few more times in the off season.
Yeah. I try and follow them, Coop. I started following Alonzo before I did anybody else.
Right.
And it fell over into guys like Mark Rogers and some others. Yeah, I just I still laugh. I did nothing but just scroll through the comments every few hours, just sitting there reading. It was hilarious.
Yeah, and then I found
pure absolute gold.
I was able to find like 3 or 4 people that I've never heard of before that have YouTube channels that are Miami fans and made videos just to express how mad they were at me. Slapping TV or something like that was the name of one of them, and then like NBD Sports or something was another one, and like on one of those videos, the comment section, it was nothing but like 40 people saying, "Yep, just unsubscribed from Uncle Lou." It was like 50 people saying, "Yep, me too. Not watching him. Yep, unsubbed from Lou." So I just left a comment on that guy's video that said, "Never heard of you before, but I just subscribed to you."
The funniest thing of it all is you have somehow managed to give Gators and Seminole fans so much hope that I think you may end up causing some people to commit suicide. By the time the season's
no,
out.
oh, no. I don't need that on me, sir. I got enough. Hey, my conscience is heavy enough, sir. I can't carry that load.
You have some Gators fans and Seminole fans just riding high on cloud 9 right now. They think they're going to roll through their season. I think we went through this the other day. Gators, you're 1-7 against Miami since 1985.
Yeah, I couldn't believe
You're
that.
going to beat us, and you still don't do it.
Yeah, I still can't believe that.
And yeah, I got into I guess you could say a bit of a comment battle with a guy I've seen on here in Alonzo's show. He's a Gators fan. His name is Master of Dreams.
Yeah.
I said, you're really pinning all your hopes for this next season on Flippy? Really?
Yep. The guy they tried to boo off their own field multiple times. Now he's their hero.
Yeah, I'm about to say, this is the first time I had heard any Gator fan ever defend this quarterback.
I don't know if you heard. They beat Michigan. I don't know. I don't know if you heard, but they beat Michigan, and like Texas, they're back.
Yeah, Texas is back. They beat Michigan. Honestly, I think a special ed football team would have beat Michigan in that game, as demoralized as they were.
Yeah, they had no interest in
Special Olympics team out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt bad for Michigan. I did. I mean, they riding high. Was that game in Columbus?
The Michigan-Ohio State game? Yeah.
Yeah. They rolled into Columbus, beating their chest, and I don't even think anybody saw them leave town. They were so deflated.
Yeah. Let's be real, though. We give Florida a hard time, but let's be real. I think Florida, and I'm not trolling, I think Florida has a real shot to end their losing streak against Kentucky this year.
I think they have a real shot of giving Tennessee their only SEC win.
Oh God, please, God, and if there's a God in heaven, please let that happen.
Because as much as Gators fans are wanting to jump on us, as much as Florida State fans are wanting to jump on us right now, I live in Tennessee around a bunch of Vols fans. We've had one losing season in the past 15 years that we've been down.
Yeah.
Tennessee's had
seven in the last 11 years.
Seven.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 out of 11.
That's pitiful.
Okay, we've had 1 out of the past 15.
Yeah. Yeah, that is pretty bad. 7 out of 11. Man, I'm telling you, if Tennessee beats Florida week 2 or 3, whenever it is they play, it's always one of the first. It's always first month of the season. But if Tennessee wins that game, I will break my own record for the longest YouTube video ever uploaded, where all the person does is laugh. great.
Oh, then you got to do a comments video on all the vault cards after that.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Sometimes during the off season, I'll start some series, and then during the season, those series of videos tend to go away because I run out of time or whatever. But I'm gonna have to make time during the season to keep doing these comments videos because that's really when all the best comments come, anyways, during the season. So I'm gonna make time to do at least 2 comments videos a month, even during the season. It's too good not to.
Yeah, and like you said, especially if Tennessee beats Florida.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
that would be even better than this past weekend's video. Yeah. Oh my Lord.
All right, well, hey, let me let you go and try to give a couple more people a chance to get on. But I appreciate your call, and I'm glad you got through. I'll talk to you. Yes, sir. I'll talk to you again soon. Reasonable fan there.
5-star caller.
Which is amazing. A couple more super chats here. Mike Williams, Hurricanes fan here. Love your channel. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I don't have any ill will towards the Hurricanes. I don't even know if most of the Hurricanes fans know the reason that video was even made. We were doing a live show just like this. I had no idea Miami was 33rd in recruiting. They're 32nd now. But at this time last week, we were doing one of these shows, and someone called me up and had mentioned that Miami was 33rd in recruiting. I said, there's no way. And I pulled up 24/7 Sports recruiting ranking, and sure enough, there was 30th. I just couldn't believe it. And so the next day I made the video. That's how that came about. I wasn't just sitting around going, how can I piss off Miami fans? It just happened to come up on a live show. But I appreciate you watching, Mr. Williams, and thank you for the super chat, sir. I really appreciate that. Josh Snellgrove, thank you, sir. Master of Dreams put me on mute. He must be triggered. Good morning, your own Uncle Lou.
Good morning, Lou. How you doing?
Man, what's up, buddy? Where you been hiding? What's up? Where you been?
I'm trying to call in.
5-star caller.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you got through. So.
Yeah, I got a new phone Saturday, so it's better now.
Yeah. Well, we just been talking about Florida and Miami. Of course, they play week 1, so that game's getting a lot of attention. What's Vandy looking like week 1? What's Vandy looking like week 1?
We're going to beat Georgia. You don't think so?
What about week 2 though? Maybe okay.
At Purdue.
1-1. 1-1. How about that? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. You got me done rolled over my damn headphones cord out here. Don't do that to me again. All right. Anyway.
Bold prediction here.
Bold prediction.
Kentucky finishes last in the SEC East.
Kentucky. I actually don't think.
5-7.
Yeah, I actually don't think that's all that bold. I have a feeling that Vandy will probably be the media pick to finish last.
For last. Yeah.
But I think Kentucky will probably be the media pick to finish. You know what? I think people are going to be really low on South Carolina this year, too. But I think Kentucky will be picked to finish 5th or 6th. And so it would not surprise me if things go haywire. And
it'd be great to see Tennessee finish last again.
Yeah, that's always the goal.
These Tennessee fans, they need to look at their schedule and realize that they don't have that easy of a schedule. They keep BYU. I know that doesn't sound like a tough game, but they beat Wisconsin in Wisconsin, which is not easy to do. But if they did that with the team that they're bringing back this year, they should just roll the Vols.
Well, without pissing everybody off again, I'll have to be pulling for the Vols in that one.
Oh, I'm going to as well.
Because it is 2019. So BYU needs to wake up.
The Vandy's win the East as well. You don't agree with that?
You don't even agree with that.
You sure? I'd love for Vandy to win the East. That'd be great.
Nah, listen. Vandy should be making a bowl game. I mean,
that's what we're doing.
It sounds bad to say. It sounds bad to say if you're talking about, a top 10 team or something, but Vandy's got consistency in the coaching staff. They've got some players returning. I like the what's his name?
Vaughn.
What's his name? Keyshawn Vaughn. Yeah.
Yep.
Now is it possible things go real? See, here's the problem with a team like, not problem, but just the reality with a team like Vandy. You look at Vandy and you say, okay, Mason's been here forever, made a couple of bowl games. We're not this 3-win toilet team that we have been in the past. You're a 6 or 7 win team, though. So the thing is, if you're a 6 or 7 win team and things go bad, you're 3-9. You see what I'm saying? If you're Georgia or Florida or whatever and things go bad, if you're Florida and things go bad, you're 4-8. If you're Georgia and things go bad, you're 8-5. If you're Alabama and things go bad, you're 14-1. So it depends on where you start. That determines where you finish and what going bad really means. So a team like Vanderbilt, a sort of best case scenario for them puts them at 6, 7, or 8 wins total for the season. So if things go really, really bad, they're looking at a 3 or 4 win year, which is awful. Whereas some of these other teams have sort of higher floors, right? Like even the most diehard Georgia hater, I don't think could see Georgia doing any worse this year than 8-4. If they're being serious with themselves. Now, I could see someone making a case that says things are going to go bad for Georgia. They're going to lose to Florida. They're going to lose to Notre Dame. They're going to lose to Texas A&M. And then they'll lose one game they're not supposed to lose, and they'll be 8-4. I disagree with that, but that's not like an ignorant thing to say. Now, somebody comes on here, Georgia going 5-7. They're just stupid. I mean, there's no way that's happening. I mean, it's just not happening. Georgia will be picked to win the East, and
like Vandy losing to Tennessee's not happening.
Yeah, if I had to guess right now, the Vegas number for the win number, the win total for Georgia next year, the Vegas number, my guess is 10.5.
That's what I was going to say, 10.
And then, so if you want to bet it, you have to decide if you think Georgia's going 11-1 or 10-2. But my guess is that the Vegas number will be 10.5. For Florida, probably 9.5. For Vandy might be 5 or 5.5.
Yeah, I'm going to guess it's probably 4.5. But the reason I brought it up is because Vandy fans on Facebook are kind of annoying me a little bit because they're saying Mason should be gone because he's not had a winning season in 5 years.
Stupid.
But when you look at what he's done at Vandy, at a school that's hard to recruit at, hard to win at, like just all around hard to coach and stuff, he's done a pretty good job. He made it to 2 bowl games, beat Tennessee 3 out of 5 years.
That's the thing, and I know Tennessee has been bad. I know Tennessee's been bad, but if Vanderbilt ever fires a coach who has a winning record against Tennessee, they're stupid.
Yeah, he's figured out the formula to slaughtering the Vols by double digits every year.
Yeah, I can't see a Vandy coach ever getting. Derek Mason could go 1-11 the next 3 years in a row. If all 3 of those wins are against Tennessee, he'll keep his job. In my opinion.
But then Tennessee fans are gonna be like, "Why the hell do we keep losing?"
Pruitt needs one more class. It won't. Pruitt, it ain't. We made the dumb coaching hire. The idiots hired Jeremy Pruitt. They'll be saying it in 3 years. Same thing they say about Butch Jones. Remember what they love Butch Jones. Remember that, Jared? You remember when all they had to do was beat South Carolina and Vandy to win the East? Was Butch Jones not the best coach in America according to Voltard at that time?
Yeah.
Of course he was. All he had to do was beat either Vandy or South Carolina, win the East. Couldn't do it. Lost both of them. Doesn't matter. Next year's the year. Come out goes 5-7, 4-8, whatever it was. Golly. All of a sudden, man, it's Lyle's fault, man. Lyle was a terrible coach. He was terrible. What were we supposed to do? Woo! We had Lyle. Woo! Well, hell, 18 months ago, Lyle was. I mean, y'all was trying to give this guy $10 million a year. You're trying to tell me he's the best coach on earth. 18 months ago, now everything's Lyle's fault. Man, hashtag blame Dooley. You know, I mean, just blame everybody. I mean, at certain points, I try to tell Miami fans too. Certain point, man, we got to stop blaming these coaches. I mean, if you've had 5, 6, 7 coaches, and 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever the number is, coaches, all those coaches aren't bad. No one has ever hired 7 bad coaches in a row. You just have a bad program at that point. How many coaches has Miami had since 2002? Miami has had to have had about 8 coaches since 2002. They have to. I got to look that up for the next time I do a Miami video and troll them with that. They have to have had about 8 coaches. These jokers are flying banners every time somebody loses a game in that.
Yeah. But speaking of Tennessee, I love how they brought up, like, that they got Chaney and, like, oh, we're going to win the SEC because our offense is going to be high-flying. And you look at the years that they had Chaney as OC, they won an average of 5 games. Yeah.
You can't reason with these people. Listen, you know like I do that 2 years, at some point, whether it's a year down the road or 2 years down the road or whatever it is, they're going to hate Jeremy Pruitt. You just know it. It's coming. It's coming. It's not a matter of if. It's just a matter of when. It is coming. And you know what they're going to say when they fire Pruitt? You know what they're going to say? Well, we never even really wanted Pruitt, but see, the administration screwed up the coaching search before, and 11 coaches told us no, and then Phil Fulmer was hired, and there was just nobody left, so we just had to get Pruitt. But now Fat Phil's been here for 3 or 4 years, and he'll get to really pick the coach he wants now. I mean, it's just the same song and dance with those people every 3 years. It's just on repeat.
It really is. I posted on Facebook a little joke. I was like, so if Pruitt goes 1-4 against Vandy in his first 5 years, and his fifth season against Vandy, will he get an extension of 4 years?
I can't with him anymore. It's so funny to listen to them try to talk basketball. Like, you ever talk to somebody? It doesn't matter what the subject is. You talk to somebody about any subject, and they don't know that much about it, but they try to use like all these words that are associated with that subject, but they're using them in the wrong way or context, and it's just not. That's how Tennessee fan is talking about. Like they try to use every basketball slang and term and all this stuff, and I'm just reading through these things on Facebook and Twitter, and I'm just like, these people, lifelong. I mean, Tennessee basketball fan is on the level of Alabama football fan. I mean, Tennessee, I'm a lifelong Tennessee basketball fan since 2019. I honestly believe that. But hey, Jared, I'm gonna let you go though. Appreciate the call. Good luck to you. Good luck to you week 2 against Vandy, but week 1, it's gonna be a bloodbath. Yeah, Vandy plays Georgia week 1 this year. So it'll be pretty. Not gonna be pretty for Vandy. Play at Vandy though, Jared. So you might only lose by 3 touchdowns instead of 4, since it's at Vandy. Will Vandy sell that game out and fill that place up at about 25,000 people that Vandy holds? Something like that. All right, recap. Patriots won the Super Bowl. Congratulations. One of the worst Super Bowls I've seen. Halftime show was absolutely terrible, pitiful, pathetic, piss poor. Just a complete waste of a halftime show. Big Boy was there. That was great. Should have had Andre 3000 there and just let Outkast. It should have been Outkast, Luda, and Jermaine Dupri. Just pick somebody else from Atlanta. But it should have been Outkast and Ludacris and whoever else. But they didn't even have Andre 3000. It was just Big Boy and Adam Levine and the other guy that I didn't know who that. I still don't know who the other guy was. It was terrible, but congrats to the Patriots. They won again. Was it their 6th Super Bowl in 9 years, or Brady's won 6 out of the 9 he's been to, whatever it is. it's insane at this point. Congratulations. Sony Michel scored the game's only touchdown. Georgia boy. The commercials, I didn't get a Game of Thrones trailer that I wanted, which pissed me off. I wanted a Game of Thrones trailer. Didn't get it. There were some okay commercials, I guess, but I don't know. Comment on the comments video coming tomorrow. Miami Hurricanes edition. It should be good. Must see Bluetooth TV tomorrow. Something real special coming on Friday too. Listen, I'm so excited about Friday. I give a couple of hints, but the reason I'm so excited about this Friday is because it's not just this Friday. It's not just this Friday. It's this Friday and the next 9 Fridays after that too. I'm so excited. We're going to do a premiere on that video at 5 Eastern on Friday. So I'll have this show at 3 o'clock on Friday from 3 to 4 or so. And then at 5 o'clock, I'm going to premiere. You guys are in for a real treat on Friday. I'm so excited. I can't tell you how excited I am. Tomorrow's Tuesday night live show. NCAA 14 on the Xbox 360, and the worst of the worst playoffs round 1 starts tomorrow night. So y'all tune in tomorrow night 10 o'clock right here on YouTube. Hook the Xbox 360 up. We're going to stream some NCAA 14 on the Xbox. We're running a little tournament, worst of the worst college football playoffs. So we got Rutgers in there, we got Kansas in there, we got Arkansas in there, and I believe Oregon State is the 4th team in there. And you know what? I'm actually thinking about expanding this to 8 teams. I'm thinking about expanding the worst of the worst playoffs to 8 teams. So what we'll do is tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, as soon as I start the show, make sure you're on. If you're planning on watching, make sure you're on as soon as the show starts tomorrow night at 10, because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to seed these playoffs. We need seeds, because if we're going to do 8 teams, 1 is going to play 8, 2 is going to play 7, yada, yada, yada. If we're just going to do the 4, same thing. 1 will play 4, 2 will play 3. But I'm thinking about expanding it to 8 teams, because there's some other terrible teams that might deserve to be in these playoffs. But we'll see. It'll be majority rule, so we'll figure it out tomorrow when we start to stream at 10 p.m. So schedule the rest of the week. Comments on the comments video tomorrow. Live stream tomorrow night at 10, NCAA football 2014 on the Xbox with updated rosters. Wednesday, no live show on Wednesday. Probably a video, though. And then a video during the day on Thursday, and another live stream Thursday night. So, again, with the NCAA on the Xbox Thursday night at 10. All these times are Eastern. And then Friday, a live show at 3 Eastern. And then the weekend, you know how you guys. I almost slipped up there. There will be a video Saturday, and it has to do with the Friday video that's premiering at 5 o'clock on Friday. I'm so excited about this Friday video, because like I said, it's not just this Friday. It's this Friday and the next 9 Fridays in a row after that. 10 Fridays in a row of this video, which means 10 Saturday videos in a row too. So some of you people can probably put that together and figure out what's coming on Friday. If not, make sure you tune in 5 o'clock Friday. We will premiere that video. Anyway, thanks to all the callers today. Great calls today. Everybody in the comments section. Appreciate you guys hanging out to watch the show today. And let's run back through these super chats again and make sure I thank everybody for that. Josh Snellgrove, thank you. I really appreciate it, sir. Martin Rosario, Slim Shady Canes, Dogs Fan 1196, and Mike Williams. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for the super chats and the donations. You guys rock. Have the best viewers on all of YouTube. I mean that. And I'm also dead serious. And 2, don't forget podcast coming out soon, too. I got to get with the Patreon people. The podcast is going to be once a week. It's going to be me and one other person. The other person will change every single week. I'm going to have a different co-host every single week. You can be involved, too, if you want to. We're going to start with Patreon members. Join up on the Patreon page. Click the link in the description that says support the channel and win a jersey. Take you to the Patreon page. You self-signed up. But I'm gonna let the Patreon members come on first, those that want to, and there's more than a few that have already said they do. So we're gonna pick one Patreon member a week, and I'm gonna record a podcast, me and that person. The topics and what we talk about will vary from week to week, but so that'll come out one day this week. Whatever day it comes out on, it's then gonna come out on that day every single week after that, one episode a week. Appreciate you guys watching. Yeah, appreciate you guys watching, and have a good morning, too.